So the next thing you have to look at now is your note 3. So note 3 is goodwill. So you look out for your goodwill. Once you have your, I think I have to copy all these things so that it moves fast. So note 3, goodwill. So cost of investment by the parent. So in this instance, cost of investment by Cyprus is 400. Then the parent's share of the subsidiary's net assets at acquisition. Now, net assets at acquisition is 260. So 75% of the 260 is what we are looking at over here now. So therefore, 75% of the 260 will give you 195, I guess. Is that right? Then when you less the 195 from the 400, you are going to get goodwill on acquisition of 205. So that is what you get for the note 3. That is what you get for the note 3. Then we come, let me copy all. You come here, then you say note 4. So from the note 3, you come and look out for your note 4, your group accumulated surplus. So parent accumulated surplus, the parent here is Cyprus. So when you go to Cyprus account, Cyprus accumulated surplus is 250 and he is having 75. Now, parent share of subsidiaries post-acquisition surplus. Look here, the note 2, net assets. When you want to get the post-acquisition surplus, there are 2 ways of getting your post-acquisition surplus. Number 1, either you subtract the acquisition date net assets from the reporting date net assets. So the reporting date net asset minus the acquisition date net asset gives you your post-acquisition surplus. So the 300 minus the 260 will give us 40, and that 40 is our post-acquisition surplus. You can also look at the surpluses itself on their own merits. At the reporting date, we are having 60. Then at the acquisition date, we said before Cyprus acquired Nicosia, there was 60. Then after acquiring Nicosia a year, the total surplus now is 100. So it means that after Cyprus has run the business for a year, he has added 40 to this 60, and now it is 100. So if you understand it that way, you can also get it like that. So when we come here, we say the 75% multiplied by, let me do it this way so that you can understand, multiplied by the 100 minus the 40, minus the 60. So 75% of the 40 will give you 30. And so therefore, the post-acquisition surplus or the post surplus here attributable to the holding company is 30. So when you add the 2, you get 280. 280. Or let me do it like this so that you you understand the two, or 75% multiplied by the 300 minus the 260. Then you get the, so you can either do it this way. So you can either do it this way, the first method here, or you do it this way. So any way you want to do it, you can still do it and you get the same answer. Then when you go to the note 5, where we look out for the non-controlling interest, the NCI now is 25% here. And the NCI determination here is on the reporting date net asset. So the reporting date net asset here is 300. So you strike the 25% on the 300. And so therefore, 25% of the 300 should give you 2575. So 75%. Sorry, 75. So non-controlling interest in our scenario here is 75%. 75%. So this is it. So these are all your notes that you do for this particular illustration. The next thing is to prepare your consolidated balance sheet. Any question? Yes. Yes.
With the NCI determination,
yes,
their portion of the post acquisition profit, won't that one be added?
It is included here. It is already here. Are you getting it? You can do it two ways. Somebody can decide to do it this way. This one, let me just say it for you so that you can write it and do it. Somebody can decide to do 25% of the stated capital, 200,000. Are you getting it?
Yes.
And then the person will decide to do 25% of the 60. That is the pre-surplus. Then the person will also do 25% of the 40. When you add all, you get the same answer. Are you okay? So do 25% of the 200, 25% of the 60, and then 25% of 100. When you add all, did you get 75?
A moment, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you get the same thing?
Yes.
Good. So there are different ways of doing it, okay?
Okay.
But because we guys don't have time, I just want to go straight to what the syllabus is wanting you to do so that you will not be delaying time at all. Now, let's look at the consolidated balance sheet. So we had a goodwill In fact, the goodwill was determined in note. Goodwill was got in note 3.
Okay.
So goodwill is your note 3. Let me be putting them there so that it is easy for reference. So goodwill was 205. Then you have your assets. So your tangible assets, you have 100 plus 250, which will give you
350.
350. So I would like to use this one. So we have current assets. So current assets, you have 300 plus 350. So 300 plus 350, I guess is 650, right? That's 650. Then you have your current liabilities. So current liabilities, you have 160. In fact, one they've not tell you anything about it in the footnote, you are just adding. 160 plus 130 should be 290, if I'm not mistaken. So 290. Then you have non-current liabilities. So non-current liabilities, you are having 140 plus 170. So non-current liabilities will be 140 plus 170. How much are you getting?
310.
You're having 310. So when you take out 310 and 290 from 650, how much are you having?
You left with 50.
It will be 50.
Yes.
Okay. So I think 205 plus 350.
555.
Plus 50.
605.
605. So share capital will be 250 for only Cyprus. Then accumulated profits, you are going to get it from the note 4, 280. So accumulated profit is 280. Then non-controlling interest, 75, note 5. So non-controlling interest, you put the 75 over there. So when you add 250, 280, and 75, how much are you getting? Did you get a 605? You said
605.
you got a 605. Okay, that's fine. That's
Yes.
good. That's good. All right. So that is how you are going to tackle illustration 3. Illustration 3. And that's once you're able to handle illustration 1, 2, and 3 very well, it means that your understanding in how to treat goodwill, how to treat post-acquisition surplus, how to treat pre-acquisition surplus, how to determine group structure is well-sounded and well-grounded. And so therefore, introducing you to fair values is also important. So we can move to page 11 of your handout, where you introduce you to fair values. Now, when we talk of fair values, the simple and short answer I'll give you is market value. So when an accountant is talking about fair value, the accountant is basically talking about market value. That is what we are talking about. But one may ask, what is the basis for the fair value, or why are we talking about fair value here? Whilst we know that the historical cost is also talking about cost, and then you're also talking about market value over here. Now, you can see that the historical cost accounting has been used for some time now, and it has also brought out some weaknesses. The historical cost accounting has its own weaknesses, and it is those weaknesses that brought about fair valuation or fair value in accounting. If I have a land that I bought somewhere in 2015 for 2,500, then I come to you in 2020 that I'll sell it for you for 2,500. You will like it, you will take it. When somebody comes to you that she also bought land 2015 for 2,500, but he will sell it for you at 7,000 as you are speaking now, you will say you won't like it. But If we should look at the market value of land as we speak now, hovering around 100,000, 50,000, the minimum you can get, if God is on your side, is 15,000 or 20,000. Even that one, the struggle you go through before you get that one, it's not an easy thing. When you go and get waterlogged, then you can get it as low as 5,000. But when you want a proper land, you see that the market value of land now is much, much more higher than what I'm selling for you for even 2,500. So if I said I'm going to sell it for you for 2,500, then you have to grab it. Somebody said you sell it for 7,000, then you have to grab it. But when you are saying it is expensive, to you it is expensive. But looking at the market value of land as we speak now, it is not expensive. If I have a car, or let me say a mobile phone, I bought in somewhere 2010, 3310, Nokia 3310. I bought it in 2010. But then phones were expensive. I bought it for, let's say, 400 Ghana cedis. By then 4 million. So I bought it for 4 million. Let me say, yeah, the year 2000, yeah, somewhere like that. Yeah, I bought it for 4 million. And per accounting concept, we are recording the historical cost accounting say that whenever you buy assets, you must record their cost in the books. So the cost of 4 million is still in the books as we speak. And let's say you have depreciated it and then now it has gotten to something like 2 million. As we speak now, the value of 3310 is even zero. When somebody even dash it to you, you won't even take it. And I have that thing in the books right now. You can see that I'll be misreporting. So because of these weaknesses of the historical cost accounting, it brings fair value, because the fair value of 3310 now, as we speak now, is zero. But if you have 3310 in your books, as we speak now, 100 Ghana cedis, you are misreporting because the fair value now is zero. If we are dashing it out, nobody will even take it. That is the same way the land illustration I gave you, because the fair value now in your books is very low. The cost in the books is very low, 2,500. Meanwhile, the cost of land on the market now is hovering around 30,000, going thereabout. So because of that, anytime you have such transactions in the books and you are selling part of the company or part of the company is being acquired, we do valuation. So you can see that all the three illustrations that we did, when they are going to sell, they say, oh, cost of investment is 400,000. Cost of investment is 275. What the parent company is going to pay is what we value. So we only value the net asset at acquisition. Then it's okay, this is the value of the net asset. You want to buy 80%. Okay, 80% of the net asset is this. So okay, pay like this, then we give it to you. So if 75% of our net asset is 195, then we give it to the buyer for 400. That is all what we are interested in. As for the 20% there, we are not even interested in the 25% here at all. But you could see that at the end of the day, we saw this one using fair value, but this one is still in the books without fair value. We are misreporting. So at the end of the day, people sat down and realized that no, we are doing the wrong thing. We have to do the right thing. What should we do? Once you are giving the 75% out at a fair value or at the prevailing market price, at the time you are giving out the 75%, also value the 25% and know that, okay, if you should have been giving this 25% also at this particular time, how much will the 25% cost? So that based on that, you know the gross goodwill on the company Then you test for impairment. Then you see whether goodwill has suffered impairment or not. Then you cannot be in a position to say something proper about the company. That is what gives birth to fair value of NCI under group accounting. So at the end of the day, whatever we are going to be looking at now, the focal point is going to be on the NCI, the non-controlling interest that we were not giving cognizance to in our earlier illustration. Now the non-controlling interest is going to be given more attention over here. Then you will see how the non-controlling interest is also dealt with. So the theory from page 11 up to page 21 and the illustrations over there is just what I have summarized in short for you. We will take the example on page 22 so that you will have a better understanding of all the theories that I'm saying. So this particular illustration is what I want us to look at now. The one on page 22. Yes, this illustration, Oman and Muscat. Oman and Muscat. Now, the following information relates to Oman and Muscat. An 80% subsidiary acquired 4 years ago. So, Oman has acquired Muscat 4 years ago, 80%. When you look at this question and then the last two questions that we solved, in the last two questions, they gave you the number of shares the company bought, and then you decided to look out for the total number of shares to determine the percentage of acquisition. Here you have been given the percentage of acquisition straight away. So where we did this one, where we found the number of shares, it will not come in here. So it means that for this particular illustration we are going to do, you are going to cut out all this one. We are just going to move straight to go and look out for the group structure. That is basically what we are going to look out for, or that's basically what we are going to do now. Now, you have the balance sheet given you over there. Then under the balance sheet, you have the footnotes. You have the footnote given you over there. And then the footnote rate. Fair value of the NCI at acquisition is 25 million. So fair value at acquisition is 25 million. Now that thing in the tabular form can be put in the reading form. You can just write it. That on the acquisition date or on the day of acquisition, the fair value of non-controlling interest is valued at 25 million. Simple. So they can either put it in table form like the way we are saying it, or it can just be in the theory form. It can be written. Then that is it. The parent cost of investment is 175. So the cost of investment is 175. That is what we are seeing over there. Then they say net assets at acquisition. So look at this question too very well. They are giving you net assets at acquisition. And then net assets at reporting. That is the net assets at the end of the year. Then you have recoverable amounts at the end of the year. And then you are required to prepare the consolidated statement of financial position of the Oman Group. prepare the consolidated statement of financial position of the Oman Group. Now, as I said earlier, the percentages has been given to you already. So Oman is having 80%. Then non-controlling interest is having 20%. So that is how you do it. Then you come to note 2. Note 2, which is your acquisition date net asset and then the reporting date net asset. So when you pick the stated capital for the subsidiary, it is 50. And you were not told anything about stated capital in the footnote. So it is 50 at acquisition, 50 at reporting. Then the surpluses were missing. The surpluses were not given. When you look at Muscat surplus at the reporting date is 100. So reporting date surplus is 100. So the net asset at reporting is 150. And when you look at the footnote 2, you were told that net asset at the reporting date at the year end is 150. So you put the 150 there. Either you pick it from there or you can work it out like this. But they did not give you acquisition date surplus, but they gave you net assets at acquisition to be 100. So if they gave you the total to be 100, then it means that something must be added to this 50 to make it 100. And so therefore, surplus at acquisition is also 50. So it means that the acquisition surplus is 50 and the reporting surplus is 100. That is what you need to do for the note 2 in that order. Then from there, you move on to the note 3, where you have to be very, very careful, where the whole non-controlling interest of the subsidiary comes in over here. So now, note 3, you look out for the cost of investment by the holding company, which is Muscat. Muscat invested 175. Then the parent share of the net asset at acquisition is the 80% of the 100. So 80% of the 100 will be 80. So therefore, goodwill on acquisition is 95. So the goodwill on acquisition is 95. Then you come on, then you say fair value of NCI at acquisition. Fair value of NCI at acquisition. You are given the fair value of NCI at acquisition to be 25 million. Then look out for what we call the NCI. Hey, where are they? I'm coming. It means okay. You look out for the NCI percentage of net assets at acquisition. And NCI is having 20%. So you strike 20% of the 100. Net asset at acquisition is 100. So 20% of the NCI at acquisition is 100. So you less it from the 20, you get 5. In fact, and this one is the goodwill of NCI at acquisition. So it is 5. So when you total, or you get what you call your gross goodwill. So the gross goodwill is going to be 100. So gross goodwill is going to be 100. So this is all what changes the whole game. This is all what changes the whole game. Once you are able to understand this one, how to determine the goodwill here in Note 3, then it means that your understanding in the fair value of NCI is well grounded. It means that your understanding in the NCI is well grounded. So based on the 3 illustrations that we have looked at so far, and doing this particular illustration for you, I would like you to go back and go and rehearse or go through the 3 illustrations up to where I'm ending today. And then we'll continue by testing for impairment, how to test for impairment, and then we'll finalize the question. But I'd like you to analyze the 3 questions side by side and know the differences among the questions. Then you know how to tackle them, especially this particular Note 3, how to deal with it. Then when we meet another time, we'll continue. But I'll be uploading this video on the YouTube, and you go to the YouTube tonight, then you have a look at it again, then you get more understanding from there. Thank you.
Thank